It's a beautiful day here at the Rogers Center. A little cloud cover, but that's just going to keep some of the folks here that have joined us for the afternoon nice and cool and out of the sun. Kyle Drabek would like to stay nice and cool here on this afternoon. There's the Red Sox, Dustin Pedroia, who has been tearing it up during this series. Of course, so has the Red Sox lineup in general. Here they are for the afternoon. Jacoby Ellsbury leads it off. Terrific leadoff man, Dustin Pedroia in that 2 spot. Adrian Gonzalez has been dominant. He just continues to drive in runs. Kevin Youkilis back in there. David Ortiz in the 5 spot. Carl Crawford in that 6 spot. Jared Saltalamacchia back behind the plate as J.D. Drew in right field. And Marco Scudero gets a start at shortstop.
Very good lineup that Kyle Drabek will be facing this afternoon as he goes to the mound for his 14th start of the season. He won his 4th game of the year his last time out, pitching into the 6th inning against Kansas City. That was an 8-5 win. Did not strike out a batter in that game. You can see the numbers for Drabek, what he has to do to be successful. He's got to throw a few more quality pitches. But when it's all said and done, when you look at the bottom line, the team is 9-4 in his 13 starts this year. So Drabek back to the mound against a very good offensive team.
I think Kyle Drabek has been a lot better than the perception on him. Certainly one game destroyed his numbers this year against the Boston Red Sox, his 2nd career start. Worked just 5 innings in that previous start, allowing 8 hits and 4 runs, so the numbers are not overly pretty. A couple of home runs mixed in from the Boston bats. Drabek set to work it. And the game's first pitch, he pumps right through for a strike, and that's a key for Kyle Drabek all afternoon.
Yeah, get ahead early. Don't give those hitters too much credit. Go ahead and challenge him with that fastball, and he's got a good one.
Jacoby Ellsbury with a 9-game hitting streak. Again, the fastball, this time hit on a soft line down the right field side foul. Ellsbury earlier in the season, back in late April and early May, put together a 19-game hitting streak. He is what would seem to be the ideal leadoff man.
Well, right now, because he combines power and he combines speed with a good on-base percentage.
Well, that's the good curveball from Drabek. Did he get the half swing or not? That's the put-away pitch, and Drabek can use this with 2 strikes, and what an effective weapon that would be.
Yeah, it's tough to throw it early in the count as Ellsbury holds up on that curveball. Good hitters will take it because it's out of the strike zone.
Comes right back with the changeup as it's popped up on the left side. Jason Nix there to make the play, and out number 1.
Defensively for the Blue Jays this afternoon, in the outfield, Patterson, Davis, and Bautista. In the infield, Aaron Hill back in the lineup after the day off yesterday. Adam Lind gets his first start back-to-back since coming off the disabled list. Jake Arencibia also in. And there's Aaron, who had the day off yesterday, back in there against the tough lefty this afternoon.
Dustin Pedroia stands in, another member of the Red Sox with a bit of a hitting streak on the line. He's coming in with 6 straight games hit in, 11 for 23 in that span, and good part of that here in this series against the Blue Jays, where he is 6 for 9. Drabek with that little cutter slider of his.
You know, and he's hitting good pitches. He had a double in yesterday's game that was down, and I don't know how he got to it, but he did, and he rifled it into right field for one of his doubles yesterday.
There's the fastball on the 2-0, and Pedroia takes the good swing.
That pitch was up and away, so he could handle it as Pedroia 6 for 9, 3 runs. This one from Jansen was a good pitch. It was down around his ankles, and he was able to hit it into the right field corner. He's such a good player. He's got good plate coverage, and he never gets cheated.
Another huge swing. Just a little guy. And he looks even smaller to me than he was in previous seasons. But he continues to get the big swings. 4 RBIs here in the series to go with those couple of doubles that we've seen. He's also walked a pair of times.
2-1 right there, and he let it go.
Yeah, he does not swing like your typical little man. Curveball grounded left side. 2 big hops at third for Nix, who throws on the run and just does get Dustin Pedroia.
Good start this afternoon for Kyle Drabek. So let's take a look at the scattering report for the young right-hander. Rein in his pitches. So that means bring it in. Harness that good stuff. Throw more strikes. and you're going to get them out. Off-speed strikes, I think, are important. Use that cutter, use that changeup, and use that curveball, but throw them for strikes. And less is more with Kyle. When he starts gritting his teeth and trying to throw it harder, he seems to fly open and the ball goes out of the strike zone. When he backs off a little bit and trusts his stuff, he can be good.
There's that curveball that you were just talking about, which we've seen now 3 times already on the afternoon. A great 2-strike pitch, but what do you think of it as a starter pitch?
I think good hitters will take it. So that's why I said you have to throw off-speed pitches for strikes, especially early in the count. Good hitters will let it go until they get the 2 strikes.
That was the changeup, and Kyle picked up an out already on the changeup, getting Ellsbury to pop out. So using all the pitches here in this first inning. Adrian Gonzalez 3 for 7 in his series. Well, you hear that sound, driven deep to right center. Bautista back at the track and the wall, and this one makes it 1-0 Boston here in this first inning. Well, he is one of the game's best, Adrian Gonzalez, and what a pickup for the Red Sox in the offseason.
A hitting streak and an RBI streak for Adrian Gonzalez right now. This is 4 games in a row that he has hit. 9 in a row that he has driven in a run, and it's a fastball right down Broadway. Got behind 2-0, challenged him with a fastball, and a good hitter doesn't miss it. What a season series Adrian Gonzalez has had against the Blue Jays, and we're only halfway through. He's hit 4 home runs against the Blue Jays already this year.
Kevin Youkilis stands in. Had the day off yesterday, but has to be something for that Red Sox group, which was already good, to add the likes of Adrian Gonzalez and Carl Crawford.
One in a trade, one signed as a free agent. Remember, they lost Adrian Beltre and Victor Martinez off of their team last year. I mean, this was a good hitting team to begin with.
96 on that sinking fastball. Yeah, Adrian Beltre is considered one of the best offensive and defensive talents at third base in the major leagues.
But when you have a player like a Kevin Youkilis who can move around the diamond, it affords the general manager an opportunity to go out and get another piece. You let a Beltre go and you get an Adrian Gonzalez. Youkilis slides across the diamond.
Well, the stuff is consistently 95 and even 96 here this first inning. Get to talking about Brandon Morrow in the opener and his great stuff. Kyle Drabek's stuff is maybe a half a hair behind. Ball hit foul third base side.
But it's where they throw it. And
it certainly is.
If you ask both of them, they'll say the exact same thing.
We saw the great fastball to Adrian Gonzalez, and he plants it. Just off the outside edge. Looked like the straight 4-seamer. So Drabek with his first walk on the afternoon. Walks have been a big issue for Kyle, no doubt. When you talk about the whip, and we've talked plenty about it, the walks plus hits divided by innings pitched, and you come up with a figure for Kyle Drabek which is not good.
Yeah, 1.7. That's almost 2 base runners an inning. And they know that. And John Farrell has said that the whip, I think, is the best indicator of what a pitcher can do.
Shift on defensively for the Blue Jays against David Ortiz, the DH here this afternoon. See the numbers. He's having a heck of a start to his year. And a perfectly placed fastball on the outside edge.
The batting average is the one that really surprises me with Ortiz. I'll take the big power numbers. Those have always been there. But Ortiz comes into this game at 325.
Red Sox lay it on the Blue Jays in the first 2 games of this series. No way around that. And yet David Ortiz just 2 for 7. Here's the changeup. Kyle doesn't take a whole lot off the changeup, but when he throws that for a strike, it is an extremely effective pitch.
It's just another pitch that a hitter has to think about.
See a lot of weak swings on that change. Even Big Papi has put together a 9-game hitting streak earlier in the season. Think about the last 2 years with Ortiz and the struggles he had getting things going. Once he got it going, he's had solid years.
Yeah, April and May wasn't very good for him. But then when you look at the bottom line, though, when the seasons were over, he was up there. 25, 30 home runs, 90, 100 RBIs. Homered in yesterday's game, his 40th career home run against the Blue Jays, which is his highest total against any one team.
Outfield straight away. Fouls it off. 2-2 the count.
And these two have matched up. This was back on May the 10th. Fastball up and out over the strike zone, and Ortiz homers to dead center field. That was the game where Drabek gave up a couple of home runs, 4 earned runs in 5 innings against Boston. Picked up a no decision. Jays would eventually win that game.
There's the changeup for the strikeout, and you could see Ortiz completely fooled. So a strikeout in the first inning. Red Sox do get on the board on the home run by Adrian Gonzalez. A big-time blast on that fastball that finds the heart of the plate. We go to the bottom of the inning, 1-0 Sox. Kyle Drabek not happy about giving up that home run to Adrian Gonzalez, but it does happen. You've got to keep your cool. John Farrell knows all about that, and he also knows about the lineup for the Blue Jays. This is how it goes on the afternoon. Yunel Escobar leads it off, followed by Corey Patterson in left. Jose Bautista try to heat it up now in right field. Adam Lind, the cleanup man, hitting .331. J.P. Arancibia does the catching. Encarnacion is the DH. Aaron Hill at second. After a day off, Rajay Davis and Jason Nix round out the order. John Lester set to work it. Already spotted to the 1-0 lead. He starts it with a fastball just at 91 as he misses high on Escobar.
Well, he can get it up there if he needs to, but I think Lester is better at 91, 92, and then keep something back.
Ground ball on 2 hops just to the right of Pedroia. He'll make the play easily for out number 1.
John Lester goes for his AL lead in wins. He is tied with Jake Arrieta and Max Scherzer of the Detroit Tigers with 8 wins apiece, as Lester goes for number 9. Has one of the highest run support averages in the majors. The Red Sox averaging 7.5 runs whenever Lester takes the mound, but he's one of the best lefties, I think, in the American League. You can put him in the CC Sabathia, David Price category when it comes to big game pitchers.
And still a young man. He's 8-4 career in 15 previous starts against the Jays. Starts it with the fastball, finds the heart of the plate. Pretty good pitch to jump on. Blue Jays have hit just .219 career against this big left-hander.
Well, some of his better games in his career have been against the Blue Jays. So he's got that good power sinker and power cutter, and it matches up very well with the Blue Jays.
In 92 2/3 innings lifetime against the Jays, just 73 hits. Pitch is popped up into shallow center field. The shortstop is Scudero. He'll call and make the play, and 2 outs quickly here in the bottom of the first inning. Last month, Jose Bautista met up with John Lester, and with this curveball.
They met up with that curveball quite nicely, thank you very much. Gets it right over the fence in left field for the home run.
A lot of people wondering, where has that home run gone for Jose Bautista? Still at 20, but now tied for the major league leadership. There's that first pitch fastball. Do the hitters for the Jays start looking for that? Does Lester change it up second time around the order?
That's what makes him so good. He is able to do those type of things. He has so many weapons.
Curveball hit right off the end of the bat at Gonzalez at first. He'll bobble momentarily and then take it to the bag. So Jose Bautista goes down, as do Escobar and Patterson in the first inning. A 1-2-3 frame turned in by John Lester. 1-0 Sox after 1. Kyle Drabek had a pretty reasonable start to his season and has struggled here of late.
Yeah, he started off 2-0 with 3 no decisions at Los Angeles, at Seattle, and then the Yankees. And then he's run into a little bit of a trouble over his last 8. Earned run average has doubled. And it all comes down to fastball command for me. His confidence, his ability to throw the ball where he needs to, because his stuff is off the charts.
Drabek set to work it. 1-0 Sox. Carl Crawford stands in. I thought all in all, even with the home run of Adrian Gonzalez, the first inning for Kyle Drabek looked like a guy that was in command and had great stuff.
In command. That's the exact words that I was thinking. Watching him in that first inning, his mechanics were a little bit better. He wasn't falling all over the place. He was staying within himself, and he just looked like he was releasing the ball on a good plane.
There's that changeup, and that's been very effective to this point, getting some weak swings. The month of April, Drabek, while going 2-1, allowed the league a .263 batting average against. In May, it even fell from there at .252. Fastball way high, and that kind of pitch right there is one of the issues for a pitcher. You won't even get the swing on the fastball there, just out of the strike zone. Then you turn to this month of June, and it has been unkind to Kyle. .429 the batting average against. Turns back to the changeup, and again out in front was Crawford, just getting a piece. With that 94 to 96 type heater that Drabek has, that changeup could be such a monster pitch. And he comes back, and it looks like just overthrows as he yanks that fastball in.
And that's the type of thing that, you know, he will learn as he gets a little bit older, gets a little bit more starts under his belt. figure out himself a little bit more.
Change got him. Even at 90, that's taking it off, and you could see Crawford waving out in front. 2 strikeouts for Drabek.
Just like the strikeout to end the first inning against David Ortiz, watch the movement, the depth of this pitch, how it goes down. It's a little bit harder than most changeups that you see, but that's a good thing. Doesn't give the hitter a lot of time to react. It looks like a fastball and then just drops off the table.
First batters, Tabby, have been an issue for Kyle over the course of the season, certainly of late, but 2 for 2 here this afternoon. Jared Saltalamacchia, first pitch swinging, fouls it. Some numbers that might surprise on Kyle Drabek. With nobody on base, the batting average against him is at .306. You put runners on, he drops it down to .248. Problem is, he's had so many runners on that even that lower number drives in a lot of runs.
Yeah, that's the thing to think about. .248 with runners on base, and then runners in scoring position in 2 outs. It's even better. So he's worked himself into problem. Batter's hitting just .182 with runners in scoring position, but he has the stuff to get out of it.
There's the curveball again, and on the 0-2, that's fine, drive it in the dirt, but started over the heart of the plate. And I think we're probably nitpicking a bit, but I think we're looking at the same time at the ways that this great stuff can equate to quality starts for Kyle Drabek time and time again.
Good curveball over the top for the strike. You know, one of the things that they're trying to teach him is more of a sweeping breaking ball that he can throw over early in the count. And what I mean by that, instead of the up and down kind of curveball, kind of sweep it from right to left, where you can throw for a strike, get it off the hitter's plane, but be able to control it.
Look, here's the deal. Most hitters, when they have a favorable count or first pitch, will look for a fastball. If you can just loop a breaking ball, don't even call it a slider or a curveball, but just that slurve, just that loop job through the heart of the plate, most of the time they're going to take it, and you've got yourself a strike. There's the changeup on the 3-2. So 3 strikeouts, and that change accounting for all of them.
Yeah, all of them with 3 and 2 counts. So you know those Red Sox hitters are putting that in their mind. You see the grip in the glove right there and the good arm action. This is the first time through the lineup, so the Red Sox are learning a little something about Kyle and what's working for him this afternoon.
J.D. Drew stands in, veteran right fielder, turns away and takes one inside and just about gets a piece.
But I get you what you're saying about the curveball, and that's what John Farrell was talking about, a sweeping breaking ball as opposed to a strikeout breaking ball, the nail biter.
Soft liner to center field. Davis freezes and then crouches to make the catch. A 1-2-3 second inning turned in by Kyle Drabek. 3 strikeouts here on the afternoon for Kyle, but he trails it 1-0. On this season's America's Got Talent, new episodes every Tuesday and Wednesday on City TV. Howie Mandel, of course, hosting the show. Nice and peaceful out there. But right here, you've got the Boston Red Sox to deal with. Not to mention John Lester, one of the game's outstanding pitchers, brings the big curveball in for a called strike as Adam Lind leads off the second.
So what is a hitter thinking right there when he can drop that type of curveball in there for strike one?
Saw Adam Lind didn't even flinch, but that is a lot to think about. There's the changeup. Adam Lind steps back, and his mind is probably doing exactly what you just expressed. What do you do now?
Yeah, because he's got so many different options to go with, and he starts throwing that breaking ball over for a strike early in the count.
Tries to come in with the high fastball. Lind swings, but grounds it sharply to second base for out number one.
So let's take a look at the scouting report brought to you by Home Hardware. Homeowners helping homeowners. John Lester has 4 quality pitches: a fastball, a great cutter, curveball, and a changeup. X on the edge. What he's trying to do is make X's on the edges of the corners with his cutter and with his sinking fastball. And whenever he takes the mound, you got to figure that John Lester is going to figure in a decision one way or another. He has had a decision in 8 of his last 9 starts. The only no decision was against the Blue Jays back on May the 10th.
JP Arencibia tries to jump on an early pitch, has the big swing as he fouls it into the mitt. And batting average at .243, but 10 home runs. Very good for a catcher, very good for a rookie. There's the changeup. Lester mixing pitches. JP Arencibia had some success against Lester earlier.
Another breaking ball from Lester. This was that game May the 10th where he got a no decision in a game that the Blue Jays would eventually win. He was matched up in that game, Lester, against Kyle Drabek that night here.
Again, the high fastball with the 0-2 count. So a little pattern here in the inning with Adam Lind and Arencibia at the plate. Like Drabek, Lester has all the pitches, but he has great command, as you see with that backdoor slider, little cutter that finds the outside edge, despite Arencibia not liking the call.
That's what I mean about making X's on the edges of the plate. If you can cut a breaking ball like that on the outside part of the plate against a right-hander and then turn a fastball over, it's like you're making an X on the outside part of the plate. Arencibia doesn't think it's a strike, but it catches the corner, and Lester has his first strikeout.
Big swing by Encarnacion as he pops one on the left side. That's Kevin Youkilis with the play, and another 1-2-3 inning turned in by the Boston Red Sox, and in particular John Lester. He is a good one. You don't want to give him too much early, but he leads it 1-0 as we go to the third.
Red Sox lineup.
Stanley Cup edition pregame show. Game 6 coming up tomorrow. A 7 o'clock Eastern start, 4 o'clock out on the Pacific. All the news you need to know before Game 6 of the Stanley Cup final. Blue Jays throwing it around. Peaceful out beyond the stadium. Kyle Drabek, how peaceful is everything for him now as he faces this Red Sox order? He's had good stuff here this afternoon, extremely good stuff. 3 strikeouts. Works it to 9-hitter Marco Scutaro, the former Blue Jay, has had a 4-hit game in the series. He shows bunt. That's just taking all the way for Scutaro.
Scutaro with 4 hits in yesterday's game. That matched a career high. He did that for the 8th time in his career.
On an 8-game hitting streak as he sees the count go even.
Timing has been an issue. There's the 8-game hit streak that you were just talking about. That started right before he went on the disabled list with a left oblique strain.
That cutter from Kyle Drabek, you see the frustration. And where's that stem from, Tabby? Is that maybe feeling like he lands badly or does something that he knows he should be doing otherwise with?
I think he feels like every pitch should be on the corner and he should be able to make a perfect pitch every single time, and it's tough to do.
There's one on the corner. Yeah, I'm not so sure I disagree with the mentality of perfection, and I think of Roy Halladay, who certainly has that mentality of perfection on every pitch. But at the same time, when you do miss, you've got to be able to maintain control personally as the pitch is line foul down the right field side. There's a guy, Pat Henkin, a former Cy Young Award winner, and I'm sure he had that same mentality.
Yeah, he was an intense guy when he first came up as a young player. Pitched out the bullpen as a first-year player. And he was very intense on the mound, but he learned to harness it and keep his emotions in check. I mean, nobody wanted to win more than Henkin. And you know that he has been working with Kyle Drabek about that aspect of his game.
High fastball fouled back. You saw the previous pitch, that curveball from Drabek. And if you talk to any baseball people about that type of curveball, it's a put-away killer curveball over the top. You should get strikeouts with it, but again, it is such a difficult pitch to throw for a called strike.
It's a feel pitch, and you have to have a good feel for that and a changeup.
So the leadoff walk, as Marco Scutaro does so often, working the count. Drabek with frustration. He knows he's got to get away from the walks. He knows he's got to get away from those 3-ball counts. Yeah. And yet it keeps happening.
And put it behind you now. Pat Henkin was talking before the game about that. Same thing about, okay, you don't have any control over that batter now. Okay, let's concentrate on what we're going to do now here against Ellsbury. Make a good pitch. Get back into your zone right here.
Can't lose focus with any of these hitters for the Red Sox. There's the changeup, or could have been just the sinking fastball at 92 in the dirt. Picked by Aaron Sebia. You want to be careful about, with catchers, and JP, a young catcher, the difficulties with pitches in the dirt. Drabek throws so hard, and a lot of times he'll throw that cutter 92, 93 miles an hour. And I was talking to Aaron Sebia about this issue about trying to block, and he said, you know, when Drabek throws that particular pitch, you can't look at it like a breaking ball. He throws it so hard, it's on you, so you wind up kind of picking balls out of the dirt. It's the curveball and changeup in particular that JP has to be concerned with getting to the knees.
What does the ball do when it spins up like that off of a curveball?
Well, anytime a right-hander throws that curveball in the dirt, it's going to kick in the dirt back to the pitcher's arm side. So in the right-hander's case, it'll kick from the field vantage into the catcher back to the right. For the catcher, it's on his left side. Drabek with Scutaro on his mind, and conversely for the left-hander the other way. And it's considerable. And the biggest thing you try to do as a catcher is turn your shoulders back toward the mound as you move right or left. Once you do that, if you square those shoulders off to the mound, you'll get the ball to kick straight back toward the plate. 3-0 the count, and Drabek now in jeopardy of walking a second straight man here to start the third inning. First inning home run hit by Adrian Gonzalez, the difference on the game. And ball 4. So speed on the bases. Dustin Pedroia, a red-hot hitter at the plate.
John Farrell was talking before the game about young pitchers and when they get themselves into trouble, some of the techniques that they could do to try to calm themselves down. And he said something really interesting, and I've never heard this before, about breathing. Your breathing technique becomes very important, that you have to calm yourself down, slow the game down that way. Have you ever heard that before?
I've heard guys talk about take a nice deep breath. I guess.
Yeah, I've heard that.
Yeah.
You know, he said, you know, you have to breathe, you know, so it can calm you down. If you start getting a little bit tense and your muscles start tensing up a little bit, and then you're throwing the ball all over the place, it's supposed to help you calm you down, too.
Drabek already with 3 walks on the afternoon, just the third inning, and nobody out. Pitch count at 51. And 52 misses. Even though Drabek coming into this inning had been good through 2 innings, you start to see what the Red Sox do to you and what Kyle Drabek tends to do to himself with that pitch count already.
They were taking all the way at the last couple of batters right here, making him throw it in the strike zone.
Gets the strike, but he misses the location of his catcher. You want to continue to encourage a young player, a veteran player. Everybody goes through their stages of lacking confidence. Turns to the changeup to get a swing and a miss. So many people, I think, have the thought that you need to tell him throw a strike. Well, he knows he's got to throw a strike. That's really not the issue. The issue is accomplishing that while giving your very best stuff to the hitter.
Anybody can throw a strike, right? It's a quality strike.
Mike McCoy can. And the 1-2 got him. Ball gets by Arancibia, so the hitter is out with the runner at first base at the start of that pitch. But it'll be a strikeout for out number 1 as the runners move up. Scutero to third base and Ellsbury to first, and likely, I would think, a pass ball.
Well, let's take a look here. A breaking ball down, and he just missed it. Ball didn't hit the dirt.
That is on the catcher, in my opinion, even if it does hit the dirt at that stage of things. So runners at second and third, 1 out, 4 strikeouts now for Drabek. It brings up Adrian Gonzalez. First base is open. And that fastball just drilled straight toward the dirt. What do? Do you face the Major League's leading RBI man, a guy who's driven in runs in 9 consecutive games now? Or do you put him on base to load him up for Kevin Youkilis, David Ortiz, Carl Crawford et al.?
You know what the easy thing to do would be for J.P. Arancibia to stick his glove out there and walk him and put him on base. I think this is a great learning period right here.
Changeup, and that's kind of beat up by Arancibia.
I think this is a great learning tool right here to face a great hitter and Gonzalez. You've got the first base open. Let's see what you can do with him right here. If you make a mistake, you make a mistake. Let's pitch to him and see what you got out there.
There you go with your RBI leaders, and Gonzalez has separated himself from the field. Blue Jays are keenly aware, but again, one of those situations, whether it's learning experience or where do you turn in this order. Changeup grounded to second. That'll produce a second run for the Red Sox as Gonzalez is thrown out. 2 down in the inning. It brings up Kevin Youkilis with a man at third.
You know what? Here's my thinking. If you pitch to him and you get him out and you've given up a run, I think that's okay. Kyle Drabek can say now, hey, I can get Adrian Gonzalez in a tough situation. It might come about around later in the game in a tie score, 2 outs, a runner on. Now he knows that he can get him out in a tough situation. That's why I would pitch to him.
Kevin Youkilis drew a walk in the first inning. 60 RBIs now for the major league leader, Adrian Gonzalez. 2 already here on the afternoon, and you don't always have to get hits or sacrifice flies for that matter to drive in runs. Pitch is high, and Drabek starting to show more and more frustration. Maybe watch JP Arencibia. And it makes me think a little bit, and you may recall because you grew up in the Cincinnati area, but Johnny Bench, the game's great catcher of his era, didn't used to give much of a target, and JP kind of throws that minimal target up late. Johnny Bench would show the back of his glove and kind of have his hand in it. And I talked to him about it, and he said it kept him in a position where he felt freer to go after the baseball.
Your hand becomes a little bit looser.
So if you throw a target up where your wrist is cocked all the way back, you kind of lock yourself. And then if the pitch dips below, you can get tied up. If you're in that position where the hand is free and the back of the glove toward the pitcher, you start reaching much more easily. Ground ball left side, and that finds a hole, produces another run. 3-0 Boston on the 2-out RBI single by Kevin Youkilis.
That's why they have Youkilis hitting in the number 4 spot. He is an RBI machine. He is a good 2-strike hitter. He is a good hitter with runners in scoring position. He just squeaks that one through. 2 outs, runners in scoring position. He's hitting over 320. And he just squirts one through the left side, just out of the reach of Escobar.
Not all RBI hits are rockets hit to the gap. Some are just little ground balls that find a hole. But that's why you've got to stay away from the walks as you start your inning. Kyle Drabek walks Marco Scutero and Jacoby Ellsbury to start the inning, and they both score. So now David Ortiz with the shift on for the Blue Jays. Aaron Hill playing in shallow right field. Third baseman Jason Nix moves around to play at the normal second base position. That's Escobar on the left side. Ortiz has a lot to shoot toward on that left side as the changeup is down and away. Drabek has walked 3, 2 have scored. Seems like a simple formula. Don't walk people and take your chances. Again in the dirt, and a nice job by Arencibia. You see how he drops to one knee, oftentimes 1 versus 2, but if you can keep that glove down and use the chest protector, you can do it well. JP in the process of dropping, didn't quite get there, but he didn't try to use the glove to catch the ball either. Little chopper. Drabek will play with it and throw on to first base. You can see the frustration in even that toss to first base as it does it for the Red Sox in a 2-run third inning. We go to the bottom of the inning. 3-0 Boston. Aaron Hill will lead it off. Kyle Drabek finding out what the Red Sox bats are all about right now, as they've won 8 straight as a team and laying it on the Blue Jays in the series, and awfully tough to now dig back against a John Lester as Aaron Hill starts it, followed by Rajai Davis and Jason Nix here in this 3rd inning. John Lester has made it look easy through 2, retiring all 6 batters he's faced. Ground ball to shortstop, wide to his left. Scudero as he makes the play, and Aaron Hill flying down the line and just nipped at first base. A lot of the fans don't like the call. Aaron Hill may have felt that he beat it. Marco Scudero doesn't have one of the big arms in shortstop, but let's take a look and see what you think.
We get to see it again, and on that replay, it certainly did look like Aaron Hill beat it. They were playing him to pull, so Scudero had a long way to go up the middle, and you're right, he doesn't have the arm like he did a few years ago, but it's enough for first base umpire Eric Cooper to get Hill at first.
Rajai Davis bats with 1 out. Well, let's be honest, bang bang with the naked eye, that play is so close, but when you can break it down like that, that's a missed call. Fastball just under the knees, off the edge. Lester maybe looking for a call.
Look at the tempo that he is displaying today. John Lester, always in control, slows the game down.
You're talking pure stuff here this afternoon between Lester and Drabek. Drabek wins it in terms of velocity. The radar gun is more impressed, but consistency in the strike zone, location in the strike zone, it's all John Lester.
We talked about that in the opening, about Lester and what he did in the minor leagues. He threw 483 innings in the minor leagues. He had a good earned run average, barely had a winning record.
But hit sharply but foul.
But he learned how to pitch. It took him 6 years in the minor leagues. Went 32 and 31. And then he didn't light the world on fire when he got to the big leagues either. It took him 26 starts in the major leagues to figure it out and really become the pitcher that we see today.
Ball hit to the right side. Pedroia quickly on it, throws out Davis for out number 2. Now, Kyle Drabek, we continue to talk about him and the frustrations mount, but you can just see what happens when you get back to the dugout. You try to maintain that poise on the field, and then it just comes flying out.
So you get a talking to from the pitching coach about what you need to do. But look at that compared to Lester, how under control he is, and he's in charge of the situation. And again, it took him a while, almost a full season in the major leagues, 26 starts to capture his stuff.
To utilize his stuff and make it effective, I would assume.
Well, he's got that great cutter, and it all boils down pitching off the fastball. And he was messing around with Tim Hudson in the offseason one day, and he said, hey, Huddy, show me how you throw your good cutter. And he showed it to him, and it was a marriage made in heaven with John Lester. He started commanding that cutter, the inside to right-handers, on the backdoor side also, and he became a different type of pitcher. But he commanded. He throws it where he wants to.
Jason Nix is at the plate. Good changeup for the swing and a miss. See that Lester takes a little more off that change than does Drabek. Although that may not be true. The fastball has not been up in the Drabek range here this afternoon.
Does it need to be?
No. Jason Nix hitting 191. Well, he's played a good third base in general for the club. Even when Lester misses with this backdoor curveball, he makes it tempting for the home plate umpire.
Yeah, he could have very easily raised that arm for a strikeout. The same type of pitch that he got J. Pierre and Sebia last inning.
Breaking ball got him swinging. Second strikeout for John Lester as he's retired the first 9 hitters he's faced for the Blue Jays. To the 4th we go. Carl Crawford will lead it off for Boston. It's 3-0 Red Sox. Drabek on the hill for the Blue Jays this afternoon and having some frustrations, but he's not the only young gun in the organization.
Never pitched above Double-A before this season. Chad Jenkins just got to Double-A, and he's actually the same age. He's actually 14 days younger than Kyle Drabek, and he's in Double-A. Zach Stewart is also in Double-A, and he's actually older than Drabek. So that's what you're facing here. You've got a young player learning at the big league level.
Carl Crawford stands in, takes the ball under the knees. And now Aaron Sebia gets beat up as maybe a little cut fastball on the outside edge misses. So not Carl Crawford like numbers yet. Slashes one, but right at third. Nix makes the catch as he drops to his knees. Out number one. Sometimes the ball's hit sharply or for outs, and sometimes those little ground balls will find the holes.
This time played perfectly. Third base, you just have to follow that one right into your glove. Track it right in there. Nix makes it look easy.
Brings up Jared Saltalamacchia. He's a switch hitter, batting left-handed. Like Crawford, he struck out back in the second inning. Ortiz, Crawford, Saltalamacchia, and Pedroia have all struck out. Here's a little broken bat looper that finds right field. So the line drives an out. The broken bat looper's a base hit. It brings up J.D. Drew.
There have been a few of those this series, those broken bat hits. I think that speaks to the strength of some of these hitters, their ability to take good pitches and fight them off.
Kyle Drabek with 72 pitches now as he works with one out in the fourth inning. 28 pitches on the other side for John Lester. That's well spotted. Now, would Lester be able to be that efficient against his own Red Sox lineup? That would be a big question. Drew slices one down the left field side, and it continues to slice to the seats.
The bottom of the lineup yesterday for the Boston Red Sox did a ton of damage.
Lester looked like he's just getting ready for a Sunday afternoon picnic. Can Kyle Drabek learn to control his emotions as much as he needs the control of the strike zone? Boy, he just misses, and respect has a lot to do with getting that kind of a call as well.
It's a good looking pitch right there. Not a bad idea to throw it down and in to J.D. Drew.
Turns to the change on the 1-2, and that's a good choice. You'll get a lot of half swings going through on that pitch. J.D. Drew, one of those veterans, has quiet hands at the plate, and I think probably more so than a lot of hitters will have the ability to lay off that off-speed pitch.
Got a great eye, very good on-base percentage throughout his career.
Cutter finds him going through. They were trying to work back door. It still works effectively on the inside corner. 5 strikeouts now for Drabek.
Stay on top of that ball, and it's a cutter that catches the plate, and he also gets the swing. Talking about the bottom of the lineup yesterday. 8 runs, 6 RBIs, a couple of walks, and no strikeouts from the bottom 3 hitters. Marco Scutaro being one of those yesterday.
Pitch hit sharply, but gloved by Nix wide to his left. And he'll throw out Marco Scutaro, and Kyle Drabek breezes through the 4th inning despite yielding a 1-out single to Jared Saltalamacchia. We go to the bottom of the 4th inning, back to the top with the Blue Jays.
brought to you by your local independently owned home hardware or home hardware building center. Homeowners helping homeowners.
Top of the order for the Blue Jays here in the fourth inning. 3-0 Sox on top as they come in trying to make it 9 straight wins overall, trying to sweep the Blue Jays. Escobar at the plate. And that good first pitch curveball, but missing outside. It'll be Escobar, Patterson, and Bautista. John Lester back in his start right here at the Rogers Center on May 10th. Blue Jays beat him 7-6. It was a no decision for Lester. But in that game, Lester had a season high 5 walks in 5 1/3 innings. So it's not like Lester runs out there every time and has great command. It's an up and down affair. He's had other games with 4 walks on the season.
If you remember in that game also, he got a little frustrated with the home plate umpire. Off the top of my head, I can't recall who it was, but he was upset and barking a little bit at the umpire.
Look, we've even seen at times Roy Halladay, with all the success he's having and has had, have those times when it just doesn't click and he has frustrations. Escobar goes through as Lester takes a little off. It's 2-2. So yeah, it's not like the comments that we're making about Kyle Drabek are unique to Drabek.
No.
He just has such great stuff that you keep waiting to see him turn that corner, and when he does, the chances are it's going to be awfully good.
Yeah, you're going to have a John Lester. You're going to have a Clay Buchholz. We talked about that in the opening, about the path that those 2 youngsters for the Red Sox, how they've taken it to the next level at the big league level. Escobar doesn't think that fastball is a strike, but it's right at the knees. He tantalized him with a bunch of breaking balls early and then pumps a fastball by him right at the knees.
Guarantee if I'm catching, I want that pitch. And you know, John Lester wanted it from the hill. With 2 strikes, we say it over and over. You've got to expand your strike zone as a hitter, but that ball likely within the standard strike zone. That's out number 1. 3 strikeouts for Lester. Corey Patterson at the plate. He's first pitch swinging, lofts one in the air, shallow to center field. Great speed for Ellsbury. Makes that play. There's a guy that can really play center field.
This outfield for the Boston Red Sox, they've only committed 2 errors all season long. Carl Crawford is the only player starting for the Red Sox who's made an error this year. He's made 2 of them, and he was the Gold Glover last year. J.D. Drew made 1 error all last year, one of the highest fielding percentages ever for a full season for a right fielder last year for the Red Sox, so they can certainly play.
Jose Bautista at the plate, 0 for 1. And takes another leadoff strike. Errors for outfielders, oftentimes I don't even concern myself with that. We saw Jose Bautista pick up an error in Kansas City on what should not have been an error charged to Jose. A good throw to the infield that was not handled at shortstop.
Well, remember the one he got where he threw it in and hit the second base bag?
Yeah. Put your throws on the bags, gentlemen. And Bautista hits the bag as Escobar backed off and got charged with an error. So I don't even look at that much. I look at plays that they can go get and plays that they make overall with their arms and with the leather. 2-1 the count. Favorable hitting count for Bautista. And when you look at a Jacoby Ellsbury play center field, he's as good as they come. Jose continues to roll over that pitch that's down and in, a pitch that he has shown in the past a unique ability to stay inside the ball with and drive it, keeping it fair.
356 with 4 home runs this year versus lefties.
Fastball hammered to center field. Jacoby Ellsbury back to the wall. Leaps, and this one is off the top of the wall, then hit above the wall. This is a home run, number 21 for Jose Bautista. So he finally breaks out of that Lengthy period of time from his perspective without a home run. Gets the Blue Jays on the board. It's now 3-1.
That's what the fans come to see. They want to see Jose Bautista swing the bat. And he put a charge into this pitch from John Lester. Dead center field. Ellsbury goes back and hits off top of the wall and then hits the back wall and bounces back into play. That's a home run. Watch it one more time as it comes down off the wall, hits the back wall, back onto the field. John Lester has given up 11 home runs now this year. Bautista retakes the lead in the American League in home runs with 21.
And it snaps a 13-game homerless streak. For most players, you would never even consider such a comment. For Jose Bautista, big news. Lind at the plate. Very quietly takes that curveball from Lester.
Curtis Granderson tied him yesterday. Bautista retakes the lead with one swing.
42 RBIs now for Jose. Again, the curveball. Again, Lind quietly able to take it. That front side staying just real soft. Hard to do. Hear about hitters needing to turn up the dial on pitchers who throw hard. That means you quicken the body. It's hard to make the two work together. High strike called. Lind had started to toss the bat away.
I think the harder a pitcher throws, the shorter your swing has to be. Let's take a look at that 3-0 pitch. Just at the top. Adam thinks it's a ball.
He drives one to center field, but room for Ellsbury. Out at the edge of the track, he'll make the catch. And that'll do it for the Jays in the fourth inning, but they get on the board against John Lester on that 21st home run of the year. For Jose Bautista, as we go to the fifth, it's now 3-1 Sox. For Jose Bautista thus far, which tops all of Major League Baseball. 2011 All-Star Game this year, played July 12th in Phoenix, Arizona. Cast your vote right now at BlueJays.com. Fans, by the way, are allowed to vote a maximum of 25 times per email address. You got lots of friends. You can vote often. Jose Bautista, he's everywhere. And he just slugged his 21st home run of the year, leading the major leagues. Dead center field, 65 at bats without a home run, and that's the longest stretch now in the past couple of seasons for Bautista. First pitch of the inning, taken for a strike at the knees. Leadoff man Jacoby Ellsbury at the plate. 3 runs on 3 hits for Boston. 1 run on the 1 hit for the Blue Jays. Good little cutter on the hands.
Boy, it certainly was. Followed up that fastball on the outside corner to a cutter on the inside.
That for me is the cutter, and then he throws a number of other pitches that are much larger and which would fall in the slider category for me. changeup hit sharply and up the middle for the base hit. Not a big swing by Ellsbury. What a job the Red Sox leadoff man does in this regard. You get the changeup and you've got to keep the hands quiet and then just flip them.
Kyle Drabek, first pitch strikes now, and 17 of the 19 hitters that he's had today. Can't finish off Ellsbury. Watch the approach. Doesn't move at all. Just uses his hands and just slaps at it and gets it back through the middle.
Think of when you see Ichiro at the plate and that front hip doesn't come open. The front shoulder has a tendency of staying closed as a strike is delivered to Pedroia. You'll see a large stride, but everything stays closed, and that's almost what Pedroia did right there.
The hands stay back,
right, too. If that front hip stays closed, typically everything else will stay back. The hands, you can take a stride. Pedroia watches one miss close off the inside edge. Jacoby Ellsbury can flat run. He is certainly one of the game's best base stealers. Drabek has that ability to be quick to the plate. There it is. Awfully tough to run there. There's a drive to left field. And you don't have to run when you drive it like this. Dustin Pedroia has connected a two-run bomb. It's 5-1 Red Sox on home run number 5 of the year for Dustin Pedroia.
What a series Pedroia has put up so far against the Blue Jays here.
And there were question marks coming into the series as to whether this guy would play or at all.
Missed the last game in New York with a knee problem. High fastball, and he stays on top of it and drives that ball out of the ballpark. Home run number 5. And the Red Sox get the run back and one more.
Here's a line shot down the left field side. That's in for a hit. One hop up against the wall. Adrian Gonzalez had it again. He has a stand-up double. 3 straight hits here in the 5th inning. Well, you have to wonder how Pedroia could get that barrel to that high fastball and drive it out and not pop it up.
You know what he didn't do? He didn't cut his swing off. He kept his swing up there, kept it high, and kept it through. So he's had a big series. Adrian Gonzalez, too, has had a big series. It's a Red Sox team that has averaged 8.5 runs during this win streak. They came in here leading the league in runs scored with 336.
That's got to be a pass ball on J.P. Arancibia, and he'll go meet with Drabek. They have had some issues, whether it's on signs or directions that pitches are sailing from Drabek. Just having tough times between them. That's going to force the infield to come in for the Blue Jays. 5-1 Sox here in the 5th inning. From the stretch, in the dirt, and just a backhanded effort on that fastball. You can't fault a catcher on a fastball in the dirt. When you can't get to the knees, there's just not enough time. Kevin Youkilis 1 for 1 on the day. Had an RBI single in the 3rd inning after walking in the 1st. There's that cutter running away as Arancibia had set up in, so they're just not in sync with each other now. The inning started with Drabek looking sharp against Ellsbury, and then the changeup on the 2-strike pitch hit for a base hit. See that ball just sailing away, very much like Mariano Rivera.
You know, when it happens quickly. This is when you want to slow things down, and Luis Perez has picked the baseball up, and he is very quickly getting loose down in the bullpen for the Blue Jays. Sox came into this game winning 21 of their last 27 games. Everybody knows how hot they are.
There's the guy that's been just tearing it apart. 7 for 12 in the series. Mixing the doubles and the home run. Just doing it all. And again, starting the series, question marks. Will Pedroia play? He's played and then some. David Ortiz at the plate. Ball squirts by Arancibia. That's enough to allow Youkilis to move into second base. Still nobody out here in the inning.
That one looked like it hit the dirt, so it'll probably go as a wild pitch. down and can't block it.
That's that just spiked fastball where you throw it straight into the ground.
That's 9 wild pitches now on the season.
Pitch is hammered deep to right center, and this one's not going to be playable. A 3-run bomb now for David Ortiz, and here go the Red Sox again at 8-1 here in the 5th inning.
'41 career home runs now for Big Papi versus the Blue Jays, the most against any opponent. Tampa Bay, he has hit 39 against them, 28 of them now here at Rogers Center. And when he hits them, and you get that sound that you hear when he hits them, there's no doubt it's not coming back.
Well, that'll do it for Kyle Drabek. A frustrating afternoon to be sure. It is 8-1 the Red Sox lead as Luis Perez comes in out of the pen. Works it into the 5th inning, but can't get an out, and then it just implodes on him as the 5 hitters he faced have all come around to score. It adds up to an awfully tough day once again for Kyle Drabek.
His stuff, I thought, was better today. Just like Brandon Morrow. Tom Farrell was talking about that Morrow's last 3 outings. His stuff's been good. He just hasn't been able to throw it where he wants to. And when you're facing good teams like the Boston Red Sox, it can happen quickly.
Look at this inning, and this would be a challenging inning for anybody to analyze, but he went 0-2, did Drabek, on the leadoff man. Ellsbury comes with a changeup down out of the strike zone, and Ellsbury comes up with a base hit that's kind of unique to a very good hitter and a hot hitter. Pedroia hits a home run on a ball up in his eyes, and from there it just falls completely apart.
Yeah, quickly, the double, a walk, a fastball, a wild pitch, and then a home run.
Carl Crawford facing the left-hander Luis Perez, 26 years of age, now in his 11th game of the season for the Jays, 2.33 the ERA. He's pitched well. Talked about the Drabek whip coming in up over 1.7 for Perez, below 1.1. There's a base hit. So 6 straight hitters have reached here in the 5th inning. Well, this is a tough Red Sox order, no matter how you want to slice it. But when they are red hot, I'm not sure who has success against this team.
I'm sitting here thinking this is going to happen a lot this summer with this team. They're all swinging. They all look very comfortable at the plate. Everything they're hitting is finding holes.
Saltalamacchia turns around and bats right-handed. He's 1 for 2 on the day.
It's a lot of fun when you are scoring the way they are and winning the way they are. Red Sox have won 8 in a row.
Chopper foul third base side. 8-game winning streak for the Red Sox, and they're trying to make it 9 now as they lead 8-1. You can see they're doing a lot of things well.
Yeah, team pitching ERA is under 4. Opponent's average at 220. Look at that team batting average in the runs per game. I like the runners in scoring position. In this series alone, coming into this game, they have 11 hits with runners in scoring position. They've had a few more this afternoon.
Pitch hit in the air, shallow into left center, and that'll drop for a hit. Davis backs up. Big turn at first base for Saltalamacchia. He'll stay at first. His second hit of the afternoon, and now 7 straight have reached here in this 5th inning.
Hit total for the Red Sox goes to 9. Not much you can do.
Yeah, 7 straight reach. One of those via the walk. That was Kevin Youkilis, and that was right in front of the 3-run home run by David Ortiz, the second bomb of the inning for the Red Sox. First and third for J.D. Drew. Jays will play back for the double play. Fastball gets away from Perez. .91 pitches for Kyle Drabek to statistically work just 4 innings. J.D. Drew, always a patient hitter. He's 0 for 2 on the day. Flied out and struck out. Keep in mind, Drabek had 5 strikeouts through 4 innings. Stuff looked very good. Did give up that first inning home run to Adrian Gonzalez. A couple of RBI hits in the 3rd inning by Gonzalez and Youkilis. Actually, the one to Gonzalez, a ground out. A ball and 2 strikes. Did he go through this time? They appeal down to third, and bombs down from Mark Carlson. Two balls, 2 strikes. Runners lead from the corners. Got him swinging on a good breaking ball. That's out number 1 here in the inning.
Drew came into this game hitting .219 versus lefties. And he'll go down against the lefty here on a good breaking ball from Perez as he just waves at it. 1 out.
Runner still at the corners for 9-hitter Marco Scutaro. He's walked and scored and then hit one sharply. A nice play by Jason Nix at third to take a hit away from him.
Terry Francona was talking after the game yesterday, after the Red Sox put up 16 runs and the bottom of the lineup did a lot of the damage, Scutaro including, saying you don't want to give any teams any easy innings. You want to thicken your lineup, meaning that you've got chances all the way down. Well, he hit the nail on the head with that one. There are no easy innings when you're facing that Red Sox offense.
Red Sox lineup so thick it is fat. The 0-1 down and in. We'd like to wish Esther Goodman, a longtime Blue Jays fan, a happy 100th birthday today. We know you're watching, Esther, so happy birthday. Scutaro, the 9th hitter of the inning. Escobar has shortened up at the shortstop position a bit. Jay's still playing for that double play. Here's a shot up the middle. That's a base hit. That will score. Carl Crawford from third And now 9-1 Red Sox lead it. And we turn back to the top of the order.
Marco Scutaro was talking the other day about right before he went on the DL, his timing was starting to come around and he was starting to swing the bat like he can. He is now 15 for 32 over his last 9 games. He has hit in all 9 of them with that inside out swing, that single to center field. He spent some time on the disabled list with that left oblique strain, but that doesn't seem to mess up his timing at all.
Ellsbury backs away. He's 1 for 2 on the afternoon. He's drawn a walk. He has singled. He's scored a pair. Talk about his great defense in center field. Really seems to be the ideal leadoff man, that guy with speed, and then that speed equates well in center field. Hitting .318.
Also added some power this year. Jacoby Ellsbury comes into this game with 7 home runs already. His career high was 9, set back in 2008. All 7 of his home runs against right-handed pitching this year.
Very good on-base percentage at .376. Waits on the curveball, hits it on the ground to Hill. He'll get an out at first base, and do they call the out on the runner? Yes, avoiding the tag and going out of the baseline. So that'll be a double play as Aaron Hill plays it perfectly to get it done behind Luis Perez. Red Sox put up 6 in the 5th inning. As we go to the bottom of the frame, they lead it 9-1. Arencibia. That's Wednesday, June 15th, between 12 p.m. and 1 p.m. at the J Shop at Sears Young and Dundas location. Go to BlueJays.com for your details. J.P. Arencibia is just a wonderful young man. You'll enjoy that experience. He leads it off here in the 5th inning and takes a strike. Red Sox with 9 runs on 10 hits. Blue Jays 1 run on 1 hit. That's the 21st home run of the year for Jose Bautista. Ball that hit the top of the wall in straightaway center field. Arencibia hitting .242 with 10 dingers. What a swing by Arencibia.
You know, that's the thing. Even though you're behind 9-1, it's still early. You still have to put up good at bats. J.P. Arencibia this whole year, at least that I've watched, and I've never seen him give away at bats. You hear that in baseball about guys giving away at bats, and okay, we'll get him tomorrow. I've never seen him do that.
Pitch went sharply on a line, but hooks it foul. He'll go up there getting his hacks. He's had a tendency at times, from my viewpoint, of taking a called third strike as he did back in the third inning. Make that the second inning. But a very tough pitch in that case.
Yeah, he'll get his strikeouts, but he's a very aggressive hitter, and I'd never want to take that away from a young player.
Goes after the high heat, down on strikes for the second time. 4 strikeouts now for John Lester, and now it's time for an update with Jamie. Thanks, Jamie. How I miss that nice cool weather. 1 out for Edwin Encarnacion. Edwin backs away and takes inside.
Cool weather. What are you talking about?
It's been in the mid and upper 90s of late in the Houston area.
Oh, yeah, that is cool.
Yeah, keep it under 100 and everything's nice and shady. Cincinnati can get a little toasty this time of the year.
We will find out next weekend, won't we?
Going to play those Cincinnati Reds. 1-1 to Edwin. Grounded to short. Tough play and out of the reach of Marco Scutaro. That's a base hit. Second on the afternoon for the Blue Jays. And the schedule ahead for the Blue Jays. The next 5 series set up like this.
And we get the Orioles here. And then that big road trip. First in Cincinnati. This is the part of the interleague schedule. Then down to Atlanta, who is playing some good ball. They've got a good record at 37-28. Then the Cardinals. And I hope to see Chris Carpenter in that series pitching. And then that makeup game at Tigers, one game at the Tigers. So it doesn't get easier for the Blue Jays after this series.
Aaron Hill with a good swing, fouls it back. Aaron grounded out to shortstop leading off the third inning. The replays, the stop action down at first base showed that Aaron, with his hustle and speed, should have been called safe. He did not get the call. The difference that makes when you're struggling with the bat and you just feel like you hit line drives at people and you don't get the call at first base when you should.
Yeah, remember we were talking about that earlier. He hit a couple of balls right on the screws into the outfield. First game here, we said, okay, he is due for a blooper or a bleeder or an infield hit, something like that. And you're right, he beat the play. Replay shows that he beat it, but he was called out.
John Lester has had most things go his way today as Hill offers on the high heat. We've got a crowd here with some talent on foul balls. Nothing to it. You know what, though? He wasn't even holding any popcorn or a drink, so I'm not sure I'm going to extend a great play to that one.
He didn't have a glove on. That was pretty impressive.
You're too easy. Her ball grounded third base side outside the bag. You know what? He didn't get his feet in position. He could have gotten back on that ball a little bit.
I liked it. We've caught your act over in the radio booth a couple of times with some of those balls hit up there.
Always protecting Jerry Howard.
Exactly.
It's 0-2 on Hill. 9-1 Red Sox. They've been having some fun with the bats here throughout the series. Jose Bautista is homered for the Jays. Bautista 1 for 2 on his day. That home run coming back in the fourth inning. Lester stares right at the runner at first, and Hill hits it in the air to right field. Easy play for J.D. Drew. That's out number 2.
How about a starting pitcher who is going to give you decisions like John Lester does? Pitches you deep into the ball game, you can just ride that left arm. What a comforting feeling to know when you have a big horse like that out there pitching for you.
And he's still a young kid. He's 27 years of age. 8-2 on the year in 13 starts.
had a streak of 7 wins in a row snapped by the White Sox 2 starts ago. That's the longest. Well, it's tied for the longest in the major leagues this year with Alexi Ogando and Dylan Gee from the New York Mets.
Is this not a crazy game? Blue Jays just saw the White Sox prior to the recent road trip and handled them well. Little looping foul on the check swing by Davis. White Sox go into Boston and once again own the Red Sox.
Yeah, figure that out. When the White Sox left here and the Blue Jays took 3 out of 4 from them, that club is down.
They look dismal.
Yeah. We pounded them just like the Red Sox are doing that to the Blue Jays in this series. And then they go to Boston and sweep them. Go figure, huh?
They win 7-3, 10-7, and 7-4 in the 3 games in that set. Tigers had beaten the Red Sox just prior to that series, so the Red Sox had lost 4 straight before winning 6 straight to come into this series. Such is the nature of this game. Got him swinging on the high heat, and that'll do it for the Blue Jays. 2 strikeouts in the inning for John Lester. He continues to dominate. 5 strikeouts on the afternoon. We go to the 6th. Red Sox lead at 9-1. Our resident fantasy expert. That's the way it's written up for me.
Yeah.
Mr. Pat Tabler.
This one is going to be about guys who have arrived with a lot of fanfare, and they have finally arrived in the big leagues. Mike Moustakas just called up by the Kansas City Royals, got into the game last night and took Joel Pinheiro deep for his first big league home run. This guy's got a lot of power. D. Gordon, I got to talk about D because I played with his father, Flash Gordon, and he can run. Got 3 hits in his first big league game against the Phillies the other day. And Freddie Freeman, he's been there all year, but he's really starting to hit. He has arrived, just 21 years old. Hit a 6th home run the other day, and it was a bomb, too.
Rajai Davis, we all know, can fly, but what I saw in the first major league game for D. Gordon, I have to put him at the top of the speed list.
He can fly.
Yeah,
he can really run.
It's 9-1 Boston. We go to the 6th inning. Dustin Pedroia leads it off. So little man has been a big part of things offensively.
It certainly has. Homered his last time up to left field. Doing it all.
Luis Perez, second pitcher on the afternoon for the Blue Jays. Kyle Drabek looked like he had terrific stuff. And he had the strikeout pitch working, but it just didn't add up once again. Perez falls behind 3-0. 4 innings, 7 hits, 8 runs, all of those earned for Drabek. Is that a commentary?
I don't know what that was. Somebody enjoying the ballpark, I guess.
You're the analyst. Here's the 3-0 and a high strike. Here's the 3-1. So a leadoff walk as we start the 6th inning. Pedroia aboard for Adrian Gonzalez as if he needs more guys to drive in. It has been a one-sided series, Tabby.
Yeah, it certainly has. The Red Sox came in here hot, and they have stayed hot, outscored the Blue Jays 30-6 this series. Not a lot of weaknesses in this ball club. The Red Sox, from starting pitching to bullpen, hitting, defense, a little bit of everything.
Adrian Gonzalez, 2 RBIs on the day. He's 2 for 3. He's homered. That his 13th of the season. He's doubled his 22nd. And he plays a great first base on top of that. Takes a strike. Adam Lind playing behind the runner Pedroia at first base.
It's amazing when you get about 4 or 5 different players offensively hot at one time, how it makes your team. I mean, it looks like everything you throw up there, they're right on.
Which is why even the bottom dwelling teams can have hot streaks. You'll get 3, 4, 5 hitters swinging it well, maybe a couple of pitchers pitching well, and that club can look awfully good for a short span.
And then it's contagious. Other players start to feel good about themselves. They come up with runners on base. They get a couple hits. The confidence grows a little bit. We mentioned that the Red Sox have won 8 in a row as Sean Camp picks up a ball and starts to get loose. Jacoby Ellsbury, Pedroia, Gonzalez, Crawford, and Ortiz combined during that 8-game win streak is hitting almost 400 as Mike McCoy's got the wrap on his elbow after his 1 inning of work.
Please tell me he didn't ice up last night after the game.
I hope he did. He was bending off some sliders, wasn't he?
Breaking ball got him swinging. The ball kicks away from Aaron Sevilla. And Pedroia is not going to shut it down with a 9-1 lead. He moves into second base. It is a wild pitch charged to Luis Perez. Dustin Pedroia is going to keep playing baseball, and I applaud him for that.
That's why he has done in this game what he has done. He's been told his whole life that he can't do this or he can't do that. Well, he was the AL's MVP a few years ago.
Kevin Youkilis, the cleanup man at the plate. He's reached all 3 appearances and takes low. A couple of walks. He has singled in a run. RBI number 39 for Youkilis. He has scored a run. Now let me turn you into a scout. Amateur scout. You go out and you find this little second baseman that swings the bat hard. Are you inclined to tell your club you really like this little kid? He's got some intangibles.
You know what? That's why scouting, you have to have the good scouts who look more than just the physical part that you see at the ballpark, the size. You got to get to know the players. You got to get to know what their family background is. You got to know what's inside them. And Pedroia is the type of guy where everybody, his whole life, is that ball's hit in the right center field.
Long run for Davis. He won't get there. This is one hop up against the wall, extra bases. Pedroia scores easily. That's 10-1 Red Sox. RBI double for Youkilis. Now 40 RBIs on his season.
Power to all fields as Pedroia gets high fives as he crosses the plate. Power to all fields for Kevin Youkilis. Came into this game at just 255, but such a dangerous hitter. He can hit the ball to left center or right center field. 18 doubles now for Youkilis. You mentioned the 40 RBIs.
David Ortiz at the plate. Lines one on a hop past Escobar. Youkilis froze momentarily as the ball shoots by. Youkilis will score nonetheless easily. Stand up double for Kevin. Make that for David Ortiz. And now it's 11-1 Boston as Luis Perez is finding out how tough this lineup is.
Well, again, they're right on everything as John Farrell has come out of the bullpen and he's going to make another change. they are right on everything, and everything they are hitting or finding holes. David Ortiz against the left-hander, he has improved that. Batting average, staying right on it, trying to go the other way. And he will pick up another RBI. Luis Perez's afternoon is over. Sean Camp comes in as the Blue Jays are losing by 10.
Yesterday, worked the ninth inning from the mound, and he got a 1-2-3 inning under his belt. Made it look easy.
Just throw strikes. He knows how hard it is to hit, and the timing just wasn't there for the Red Sox hitters. Mike McCoy, 1-2-3 inning, the first time since 2004 an extra player got an inning in.
Sean Camp comes on now, 35-year-old right-hander. 28th appearance, ERA at 4.71. He's had a little bit of a difficult time of late. 35 hits allowed in 28 and 2/3 innings. Yeah, did Mike McCoy make a good argument for just flipping it up in the mid-70s and lower against a lineup like this?
For an extra guy, I guess. You know, nobody's going to go up there.
Yeah.
Flip it up there at 70, you know, and get away with it.
So Sean Camp works it to Carl Crawford. He grounds one to short. Escobar will make the play on to first base. That's how number 2 moving to third base on the ground out is David Ortiz. Couple of runs in here in the inning. It brings up the catcher Jared Saltalamacchia. He's 2 for 3, and that batting average starting to rise now for the Red Sox catcher. 246, 5 homers on the year. Red Sox win the opener of the 3, 5-1. Clay Buchholz picked up the win. Yesterday's ball game 16-4 as the Red Sox laid it on the Blue Jays. John Lackey picked up the win over Brandon Morrow, and now Kyle Drabek feels the wrath here in game 3. John Lackey, a second straight good start after coming off the DL for Boston. There he is. And
says it was something to build off of yesterday. Yeah. You know, he had a lot of runs to work with, so he could work on some other things, and felt that it was a building block as he built up his arm strength.
Another drive, deep right center. Bautista can't get there. It's off the wall. That'll score Ortiz. The 12th run of the game for the Red Sox. RBI double for Jared Saltalamacchia, and he now has 3 hits.
And that will be Saltalamakia's second 3-hit game of the season. He got his first 3-hit game a week ago versus Oakland. And this time will reach base for the third straight time. It looked like an off-speed pitch, maybe a changeup from Camp, and he stayed back on that one.
Dipping away, and you've got to be able to stay in with that front side to have those kinds of results. It's a 3-run 6th inning for Boston. J.D. Drew stands in. He is hitless on the afternoon with a couple of strikeouts. Hitting just .230, and now finding himself not playing every day against left-handers. Backs away and has that fastball just miss. A lot of question marks this year coming in as to whether Saltalamakia would be able to handle that job as the regular catcher. Well, he's now starting to catch on quite well.
Earlier this year, there was some talk, well, we were in Boston, why doesn't Jason Varitek catch more? But he's still young. Former #1 draft pick of the Atlanta Braves. Came to Boston through Texas. And he's with a good organization with some good teachers. You saw a shot there of Gary Tuck, the bullpen coach.
Gary Tuck, once upon a time, a catcher in the Astros chain, and kind of a guy that I spent some spring training time with.
You said you were coaching. Was he a guy who was
no, I was
playing then?
I was, yeah, it was back in the playing day. Tapper on the first base side, kicks foul, but apparently off some part of the body of J.D. Drew. Now I can hear your gears spinning. And I don't know if I like hearing what I hear.
Well, no.
Gary Tuck looks like a young man.
That's right.
Thought I heard what I heard.
You were a coach, you said. You did some.
That's not exactly what I said.
At lunch, you said you were a coach in the organization.
Well, at one time I was, but not in the Gary Tuck days.
Oh, okay.
So,
all right.
The 2-2 pitch. You got the gloves on yet, Tabby? So a 3-2 count. Well, that was a close pitch on Drew. Now got him swinging on the slider down and in. The tag applied by Arancibia, and that'll do it for the Red Sox in the 6th inning. They put 3 more on the board and lead it 12-1 over the Blue Jays. Always keeping an eye toward the farm report and what some of the guys are doing.
Adam Lowen starting to swing the bat for the AAA Las Vegas. He's on a 10-game pitch streak. His numbers very good in May and June. He's a player who was a former #1 draft pick of the Baltimore Orioles back in 2002 as a pitcher. And then some injury problems has turned him into a hitter. And he has taken long road bats. Gotten into AAA as Drew Sutton has taken over for Carl Crawford in left field. I wouldn't be surprised if Adam Lowen, we see him at some point here in the big leagues this year.
What would you project him to be doing should he make it to the major league scene sometime this year?
I mean, what would his numbers be, or what do you think he's going to do? Or
his role on the ball club.
Is power hitting outfielder, maybe a left-hander coming off the bench at some point. He could play a little first base, but he's playing the outfield for the most part in AAA. Starting to hit.
Pitch popped up, shallow into center field. Pedroia is calling now, called off by Ellsbury, who just covers everything inside in center field for the Red Sox.
That's got to be awfully difficult for a player who was a pitcher. The only guy I can think of who went from pitcher to everyday player and who made it back to the big leagues was Rick Ankiel. Was a prize prospect for the St. Louis Cardinals as a pitcher and then just lost it.
Yeah, the only reason he stopped pitching was he came up with the thing, as the players all call it, and couldn't find home plate, couldn't find the ballpark on some pitches, but he could always swing the bat.
Lowen, on the other hand, it was injury problems to his arm, but he could always hit. Playing for Team Canada.
Escobar at the plate, 0 for 2 on the day. Boy, that curveball has been effective. (12-1) Red Sox on top. Lester has been seemingly in cruise control throughout much of the afternoon. That's 68 pitches now. If you're Terry Francona, do you let your left-hander pitch deeper into this ball game, or let him get a little rest?
He has spread it around, and that's the luxury you have when you've got big leads. Like yesterday, he was able to get some work from the bullpen and get Lackey 6 innings. He's used 7 different pitchers in this series so far.
Those are the 2 starters in the first 2 games of the series. This pitch popped, foul territory down the right side. Nobody will get to it. Stays at 2-2.
Red Sox have an off day tomorrow, so they can extend them a little bit, as you see Buchholz, who won game 1, and Lackey won game 2 here. Give the bullpen a little bit of a breather, but I don't think they'd extend him too far. He's only at 70 pitches.
Curveball bends inside. I think you have to deal with individuals too, because some pitchers will tell you, I don't like it if I don't get enough pitches on my start day. I need to be able to get up 90, maybe 100 plus pitches. So you're always dealing with individuals. A fastball at 92. Lester has not had that mid-90s fastball here this afternoon, but he hasn't needed it.
Right. He hasn't needed it. It's always there in the reserve. That's what I talked about earlier in the game about less is more, that he is able to command at 91, 93.
He gets his sixth strikeout here on the afternoon. That's 2 outs in the inning. And Lester has been a tremendous road pitcher this year.
How about undefeated? This is his last 15 road games. This year he's 5-0 in 8 starts, but if you go back to last year, 11-1 with an ERA just over 3. How about that opponent's batting average just over 200?
Corey Patterson fouls the first pitch back. Wonder how much Fenway Park factors in there. Fenway Park has always been known as a park. Yeah, you think about the Green Monster, and that helps, I think, especially left-hand hitters, maybe even the right-hand hitters for that matter. But it's a ballpark that hitters will tell you they see the ball well in.
Good hitters ballpark. You know, one thing that I think about with Fenway Park, a lot of foul balls, they end up in the stands. You get more swings. Small ballpark, the stands are right on top of you. You foul one just down the right or left field line, it's in the stands. It could be an out in other ballparks. It's another swing there.
Kind of the anti-Oakland Alameda Coliseum.
That's right.
Yeah. Huge foul territories there. And you typically see pitchers' ERAs way down, and the batting averages against also low, and the averages for the A's club and every team that goes through there also low numbers. Got him swinging. 2 strikeouts in the inning, 7 on the day now for John Lester, who is having fun with his teammates' bats, swinging it big. 13 hits and 12 runs as the Red Sox lead it 12-1. A's have not been able to do much with the nice crowds here the last couple of days. Almost 40,000 yesterday. A little shy of that here this afternoon, but it's been all Boston as they work toward a sweep. Again, they start the day with an 8-game winning streak. Marco Scutaro, the 9-hitter, leads it off. Sean Camp, third pitcher on the afternoon for the Jays. It's been Kyle Drabeck who managed to work into the 5th inning, but just 4 innings on his slate, 8 earnings against him. 4 walks and 5 strikeouts. Luis Perez an inning and a third, and now Sean Camp on. Ball lined into right center field. This is going to gap, and that'll go all the way to the wall. Marco Scutaro is 2 for 3 as he pulls into second base with a leadoff double.
He has been on base 3 times again this afternoon. Another extra base hit by the Red Sox.
Double number 5 for Scutaro. Just waits. Drives in into right center field. That's what Marco's done most all of his career.
Stay in the middle of the diamond, inside out swing. That batting average now up over 280 with that base hit.
He is an underrated player in my estimation. A guy that plays a nice shortstop, can come in any situation for you. Pitch popped, foul territory left side. Nicks under it, and out number 1. Blue Jays will be taking on the Baltimore Orioles after tomorrow's off day, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Come join us here at the Rogers Center before the Blue Jays head off on the road. 416-341-1234, the number to call to pick up your tickets. Or you can always do it online at bluejays.com. Print them out yourself right there at home and make it easy. You can also slip into a Rogers Plus location and pick up tickets. 2-hitter Dustin Pedroia at the plate. What a series he is throwing together. 1 for 3 on the day. A very productive 1 for 3. Hit a 2-run home run. He's walked. He's scored twice. Camp falls behind 2-0. Leadoff double for Scudero. He's at second with 1 down. See Pedroia's front foot stepping toward the bucket on a lot of occasions, but he keeps that upper body in there and can line it down the right field side as well as the left field side. We've seen it all here in the series.
He hit a pitch from Casey Jansen yesterday that I thought was a good pitch, down and away. And you talk about that front foot opening up like that, you would think that he would be susceptible to pitches down and away, but he keeps the bat back, and he hit a double off of Jansen in the right field corner in yesterday's game.
I think the hands are always the key. I don't look at a lot of other things, but if those hands can stay back and give you a chance on fastball all the way to change or slow curveball, then you got something.
What about weight, keeping your weight back?
Well, I think the power hitters clearly will do that. Ichiro might be an argument that would say you can hit another style while his hands stay back. I played with a great hitter, Jose Cruz.
Oh, yeah,
who took a very long stride, probably, I would guess, a sometimes 2 to 3+ foot stride, but his hands would stay back, and he could slash it all over the ballpark. There's a walk to Pedroia. Second time he's walked on the afternoon. 1 out. 2 runners on for Adrian Gonzalez.
Mike Cameron has grabbed the bat, and he is going to pinch hit for Adrian Gonzalez. There is the veteran Cameron. Gonzalez's afternoon is finished. What a series he put together against the Blue Jays.
Gonzalez will tuck in a nice 2 for 4. A couple of runs scored, 2 RBIs. Hitting .341 as Mike Cameron swings through the first offering. Gonzalez with that .341 mark now, hitting a point ahead of Jose Bautista, who is at .340.
He came in to this game leading the American League in hitting, leading the American League in RBIs.
Jose Bautista came in tied for the leadership in home runs, but has retaken that lead as he homered to center field, providing the Blue Jays their only run of the afternoon. And you hope with Jose Bautista that means he's finding the stroke once again and can start being that dominator in the heart of this order.
Timing, that's all it is, getting that timing and get that feeling at the plate. It's hard to do it for 500 at bats throughout the summer. To have that great feeling every time you come to the ballpark.
I was watching Bautista hitting about .350 plus up until a couple of weeks ago, and at the time I even talked to Jose about it, about what it looked like. And watching every day, it felt like to me he was getting a hit 2 out of 3 times he walked to the plate. And then I thought about George Brett. Ground ball foul outside the bag. George Brett back in 1980 hits .390 for the entire year. It's just phenomenal. John Olerud put together one of those seasons for the Blue Jays.
Yeah, when he won a batting title in 1993, I believe he was over .360. Tony Gwynn .394 one year. Rod Carew .377, something like that. I mean, those are just phenomenal years, and it's hard to do that.
Got him looking at the knees. So Sean Camp gets a call as he strikes out Mike Cameron. 2 outs here in the inning. And now the cleanup spot with Kevin Youkilis. You don't always vote, do you, Tabby? But when you do, it is for Jose Bautista.
For the All-Star game?
Of course.
I vote for him all the time.
Some people don't vote all the time.
Even my man there.
Kevin Youkilis has reached all 4 plate appearances as he takes a strike. He's 2 for 2 with a couple of walks. Youkilis has doubled and singled. The 2 RBIs give him 40 on the year. Checks his swing and fouls one back. John Camp out in front, 0-2. Red Sox out in front, 12-1. And the changeup is low. Now Jose Bautista, clearly deserving of an all-star appearance this year, and a whole lot more the way he has played, way beyond what he does with the bat.
Team leader. The coaches rave about him, what he means to this team, the example that he sets day in and day out.
Line shot to left field, coming on is Patterson, and about knee high will make the catch, and that'll do it for the Red Sox in a scoreless 7th inning as they leave a pair. Jose Bautista will be leading off the bottom of this 7th inning. 12-1 Red Sox. Greg's on doing his best. Let's go Blue Jays. Just a reminder, if you can't catch us on TV, you can listen to all the action on Sportsnet Radio, the Fan 590, or anywhere across the Blue Jays radio network for that matter. Jays need to get something going as they trail it 12-1. Jose Bautista, who has supplied the only run of the game for the Blue Jays, a 4th inning home run, a solo job, his 21st of the year. Mike Cameron now playing in left field as Bautista takes a strike to even things at a ball and a strike. Previously in left field, it was Drew Sutton who came on for Carl Crawford. Sutton now grabs another glove and goes to first base in place of Adrian Gonzalez. Fastball sinks down and away. So Bautista with the 1-for-2 afternoon, hitting .340. Again, a point behind Adrian Gonzalez, who was 2-for-4 for the Red Sox. Strike on the outside edge, that little cutter catching just a piece of the outside edge for the crew chief, Jeff Kellogg.
Lester has had that pitch all afternoon to the right-handers, that backdoor cutter.
Big swing, but a towering fly ball into right center field. Immediately calling was Ellsbury as he makes the catch. 1 up, 1 down here in the 7th. Now grabbing a bat and coming to the plate, Juan Rivera as a pinch hitter for Adam Lind, who took an 0 for 2 afternoon against the tough left-hander John Lester.
Rivera has been swinging a hot bat, but hasn't been able to get into the lineup the last couple of days.
It's a second straight start for Adam Lind at first base. And we've talked about his numbers. He has been so much better at first base with the bat when he plays defensively than when he DHs. Ground ball to the right side, diving stop by Pedroia. He'll get up and throw out Rivera. Yeah, Dustin Pedroia just does everything. What a key part of these Boston Red Sox this guy is.
Plays every game, every inning, like it's the 7th game of the World Series. It's 12-1, and he has sprawled out to make a good play to rob Juan Rivera of a base hit.
2 down quickly for John Lester as he faces J.P. Arancibia. Tomorrow's an off day. And so if you're John Farrell, you're not overly concerned, I wouldn't think, about trying to get off days for everybody right now. But how do you feel from your days? Did you prefer, if you got that off day coming up and things are not going well, that maybe you catch a couple of extra innings off here late in a ball game like this?
I don't think there's anything wrong with that.
One hopper to short. Arancibia is out 6-3 in a 1-2-3 7th inning. John Lester just keeps on rolling, as do the Red Sox bats. 14 hits, putting up 12 runs. We go to the 8th. Red Sox all over the Jays.
Jose Bautista connects against John Lester, just like he did last time they met here at Rogers Center. Hits it right off the top of the wall. And out for his 21st home run, the only run the Blue Jays have been able to muster against John Lester.
Frank Francisco now comes in to pitch for the Blue Jays, 31 years of age. He's 1-3 in 20 outings on the season. ERA is shavable. It's at 5.82. About 20 hits in 17 innings.
Started the year on the disabled list, came off the DL, went into the bullpen, became the closer. And that didn't work out as he threw a couple of saves, and now he is working his way back towards the back end of that bullpen. Right-handers have had trouble against Francisco. He's got a good fastball and a good splitter. He'll also throw a curveball. For me, the splitter just hasn't been that biting action that they have needed from the big right-hander.
Mike McCoy has gotten his arm loose for right field as Jose Bautista is done with his day. Bautista 1 for 3 with that 21st home run on the year. So Mike McCoy is the new right fielder. Frank Francisco is a guy that has classic closer stuff. He's got that big fastball and the splitter, and but when you see that stuff, you think, wow, this guy is just made for the closer role.
I think so too. His fastball can get up to 95, 96 miles an hour, but the splitter just hasn't been as consistent as it needs to be. He saved 25 games a couple of years ago for the Texas Rangers, so he is familiar with that role.
Big Papi at the plate. David Ortiz is 2 for 4, scored a pair of runs. He has driven in 4. Back in the 5th inning, slammed his 17th home run. He had a run-producing double in the 6th inning. Two 2-0 the count. With the 2-0, Francisco, I don't know if that's just lobbing in a fastball at 85 or if he actually went to the change. There's the fastball grounded to the right side. That's Jason Nix with that shift on making the play. So that'll be a 5-3 put out at first base as Ortiz is retired. Got to bring up Drew Sutton, who came on for Carl Crawford, took over in left field briefly for an inning and then moved on to first base. Just his 12th game of the season as he fouls one back.
Started the year in AAA with the Pawtucket Red Sox, where he was leading that team in hits and doubles, RBIs, tied with extra base hits. Just another one of those young hitters in that Red Sox organization that comes up here and produces for him.
Who was the guy the Red Sox brought up late last year or early last year and hit the grand slam in his first major league at bat?
Okay.
Yeah, I shouldn't have asked it.
No. I got it for you.
Line drive down the right field side. That's in for a base hit. Mike McCoy doesn't quite have the arm of Jose Bautista, but uncorks a good throw. Nonetheless, a 1-out double for Drew Sutton.
He looks very comfortable at the plate. Switch hitter, he's got some size. He can play different positions. Mike McCoy did everything he could to throw out Sutton at second base, but it's just a good piece of hitting. Stay back. Another breaking ball. He stays back and he rips it into right field for a base hit.
That's that curveball you were talking about.
Just tumbling up there.
Of course, when a hitter stays back and hits it well, it tends to always look like a hanger. Saul Tulamaki at the plate. He has 3 hits and 4 at-bats.
So the player you were thinking about, I don't think it was Ryan Kalish, right?
No, it was not. And Kalish is a good-looking outfielder.
This was a switch hitter.
Yes, he was.
Daniel Nava.
Nava, that's the name. It's one of those guys, as you were mentioning, players that have come up and done well, but they haven't all stayed. So, you know, I think there's a tendency, maybe if you're a Blue Jays fan, and saying, well, these guys that are highly touted don't seem to come to the big leagues and immediately produce. But I think that's true across the board.
It's a huge jump from AAA to the big league. Although it's just, you know, one step up the ladder to the big leagues, it's a huge step. Such a difference between AAA in the major leagues. The pitching is so much better. These are the best of the best right here. I guess the best way to describe it is if you were a hitter pitching against a AAA pitching staff, on a staff of, let's say, 12 players, there might be 3 guys on your AAA staff who's legitimately major league pitchers, maybe 4. Up here, they're all leaguers. The farther down you go in the chain, the less big league pitching that you'll see.
Who has the larger adjustment, the pitcher or the position player coming to the big leagues?
The larger? I would say the hitter, because he's got to play a position too. Pitcher just goes out and does his thing. I mean, you're not going to throw the ball harder, are you?
And I imagine there are a lot of arms, even at the AA level, that in terms of velocity might match a lot of the arms you see here.
Certainly. Yeah. The reason they're in AA is they don't know how to roll it. They can't pitch. You know, watching John Lester this afternoon, it's been a treat, because he's got the great stuff. but he also has a great idea. He knows how to pitch. He knows when to backdoor that breaking ball. He knows when to throw the changeup, when to hump up with his fastball and throw it where he needs to.
By the way, the double by Drew Sutton, his 6th on the season, and he's only been here now in his 12th game with the Red Sox. 31 at bats and 6 doubles. At 94 miles an hour, Francisco misses high. So the walk to Saltalamacchia. Runners at first and second for J.D. Drew. Just one out here in the inning. J.D. Drew still in that make 'em work mode. The Red Sox lead 12-1. Won it yesterday 16-4, 5-1 in Friday night's opener. Reyes, Morrow, and Drabek this afternoon, all learning about these Red Sox. J.D. Drew 0 for 4 on his afternoon. And when you take a peek at what the Red Sox have done today, he is the only starter without a hit. In fact, Mike Cameron, who came on as a pinch hitter, has taken an 0 for 1, and he's the only other without a hit on the afternoon. Even Drew Sutton with his 1 at bat with a double. 15 Red Sox hits. And J.D. Drew hitting just .228. One out double by Sutton. He's at second. Saltalamacchia at first base. Frank Francisco having a hard time getting a sign there. Pumps the fastball right through as Drew is caught looking. No debate on that pitch. That's 10 strikeouts for the Blue Jays staff.
And 4 times J.D. Drew has gone down striking out. It looked like he was looking for an off-speed pitch from Francisco, and he pumps the fastball right down the middle. Very hittable pitch, and he knows it. Locks him up.
Hadn't even mentioned that J.D. Drew had already picked up a sombrero. It's now golden. Kyle Drabek, if you're just checking in, had good stuff. Very good stuff, and in fact looked like he might be on his way to having a solid afternoon, as 9-hitter Marco Scudero, who has 2 hits on the afternoon, stands in 2 for 3. But it didn't work out that way for Drabek. He winds up pitching into the 5th inning, faced 5 hitters. They all reached. So 4 innings of work for Drabek, 7 hits, 8 runs, all of those earned, 4 walks along the way. He did strike out 5, but yielded 3 home runs and needed 91 pitches. Changeup floats through. That's the splitter from Francisco. Luis Perez found the sledding just as difficult. An inning and a third, 5 hits and 4 earnings against Perez, as his ERA now jumps to 3.92. For Kyle Drabek, he departs at 5.70 in the ERA category. Just driving it straight in the ground is Francisco. Nice job by Aaron Sebia. Aaron Sebia has been charged with a pass ball this afternoon. One and 2 the count. Got him swinging. Splitter left up, and Scudero can't lay off. 11 strikeouts now of Red Sox hitters. We go to the bottom of the 8th inning, 12-1. The Red Sox on top now. Time for an update with Jamie Campbell in the Blackberry broadcast studio. He slammed his 21st home run of the year. Greg Zahn having some fun and reminding fans to vote for Jose Bautista as an all-star this year.
John Lester gets set to work the 8th inning, and look at those numbers. 2 hits, an earned run, no walks, and 7 strikeouts for the big left-hander. He has thrown 8 innings one time this year. That was against Baltimore back on April the 28th. Told you that he's a type of pitcher that will give you a decision one way or another. He pitches deep into the game. 8 of his last 9 times he has taken the mound, he has given his team a decision.
For John Lester, his last complete game came last year at the hands of the San Francisco Giants. Tim Lincecum was on the hill that afternoon.
Good day to be a hitter. Not. Holy cow. Lincecum and Lester.
Good day to find a day off.
No kidding.
1-2 on Encarnacion. It'll be Edwin, Aaron Hill, and Rajay Davis here in this 8th inning. Red Sox have slammed out 15 hits to go with their 12 runs. The Blue Jays just 2 hits. Jose Bautista solo dinger and a single by Edwin Encarnacion in the 5th inning. And that has been it. Outstanding. How about Jamie just mentioning that Francisco Liriano has pitched 7 no-hit innings once again. 3-2 the count. Liriano with 8 strikeouts against the Texas Rangers through those 7 innings. And Edwin draws the leadoff walk.
That's saying something. If you could no-hit the Texas Rangers with all the firepower that they bring to the ballpark.
Kinsler, Bruce Hamilton, Michael Young having a big year. Adrian Beltre, Nelson Cruz, even David Murphy. They've got some good bats.
Yeah, they're second in the American League in hitting, just behind these Boston Red Sox when it comes to terms of average. And then the Tigers, and then the Blue Jays heading into action today.
The walk of Encarnacion, the first walk issued by Lester. Here's a check swing grounder to the left side. Youkilis comes on and makes the play to get Aaron Hill at first base, while Encarnacion settles into second. Baltimore Orioles come to town. Tomorrow's an off day. And then Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday rather, the Orioles hook up with the Blue Jays. 416-341-1234, the number to call for your tickets. You can do it online at bluejays.com or at most Rogers Plus locations. Jose Bautista picking up the homer today, and everybody hoping that that bat is ready to be red hot once again. Rajai Davis fouls one off the first base side. Davis is grounded out and struck out. Swings and misses. Maybe John Lester not going all the way this afternoon, as Michael Bowden now loosening for the Red Sox.
Terry Francona can mix it up a little bit when you've got this type of lead late in the game. You could rest your starters. Get some guys a couple of innings here, a couple of innings there. Some guys who might not work out of that bullpen as frequently as you would like. Get him some work. Just 95 pitches for Lester as he pitches in the 8th inning. Good strike to ball ratio.
Davis takes a close pitch, gets away with it. A ball and 2 strikes. If you go back to the final game in Baltimore, that was the 5th of June. Rajai Davis took an 0 for 4. He came into that game hitting .288, and since then he's had 1 base hit. That was in yesterday's game as he went 1 for 4 with a double. But he has been on a major slide, hitting just .250 as he stands in.
And he was hitting everything that was thrown up at him that last homestand before the Blue Jays went to Baltimore and Kansas City.
Little looper, first base side. That'll drop foul. Not much air under this one. Red Sox picked up a run in the first inning as Adrian Gonzalez got it started, hitting a 2-out bases empty home run against Kyle Drabek. And again, Drabek's stuff looked terrific. Boston then picked up 2 in the 3rd, 6 in the 5th inning, 3 more in the 6th as they hold this 12-1 lead. Again, Davis takes a very close pitch and gets away with it.
Staying down. John Lester keeping the ball down in the strike zone.
Love to see that pitch with that track box. There have been a number of pitches the last 2 days. Little half swing, fouling one off as Davis. John Lester now at 99 pitches, so that next pitch gets him to the century mark. From the stretch he brings it and got him swinging. Just good low cheese. His 8th strikeout of the afternoon.
And those 8 strikeouts now move John Lester into 11th place all time for the Boston Red Sox in strikeouts already. That gives him 799 career strikeouts.
Underline already, he's 27 years of age.
Just 27 years old. He's going to be cracking the top 10 of all time for the Boston Red Sox very soon.
Jason Nick stands in, takes a close pitch off the edge. So Lester is going to be in that rather comfortable range of just over 100 pitches on his afternoon.
And it gets him 8 innings. That's the thing. You know, he's able to throw as many strikes to get 8 big solid innings.
First baseman makes the call in foul territory. Sutton makes the catch as Nix pops out, and that does it for the Jays in the 8th inning. They pick up just a walk. We go to the 9th. 12-1, Sox on top. game brought to you by Rogers. Hello, Speed Boost. Goodbye, waiting. Another first only from Rogers.
Dustin Pedroia has done it all this afternoon, and in this series, this is one of his 7 hits so far in the 3 games, his 5th home run of the season. He's also doing it with the glove. Juan Rivera has a hit taken away from him by the Gold Glove second baseman, ranging into short right field to take away a hit from Rivera. Doing it all, Pedroia. We get to see him one more time here as he waits on deck.
Leadoff man Jacoby Ellsbury stands in to start things for the Red Sox in this 9th inning. Ellsbury just 1 hit on the afternoon. He backs away, but that was a key hit for the Red Sox, as Boston will have another shot here in the 9th. And John Roush comes in, and for the Blue Jays, it is pitcher number 5.
We saw Roush yesterday, just 1/3 of an inning, as he is one of the pitchers that pitched in yesterday's ball game. 22 for 26 in first batter efficiency. That's what you want when you come out of that bullpen. Throw strikes, get outs.
Pitch foul, third base side. Talking about that hit of Jacoby Ellsbury's back in the 5th inning. Kyle Drabek was trailing 3-1. Jose Bautista had just homered for the Blue Jays in the bottom of the 4th inning. Drabek got ahead 0-2 on Ellsbury and had a good pitch, changeup down out of the strike zone, but Ellsbury, the fine hitter that he is, singled up the middle and got that 6-run 5th inning started, and I thought that was kind of a key moment for the ball game.
A good piece of 2-strike hitting by Ellsbury. Kept his hands back and just flicked it into center field, and that got it all rolling. Like you said, there was the home run by Pedroia that we just showed, a double, a walk, a wild pitch. When it was all said and done in that inning, 6 runs came across on 7 hits.
John Roush, the 3-2 is drilled but foul. There's that pop in the bat you talked about with Jacoby Ellsbury. Not a big guy, runs extremely well. You think, well, he's a little pinger, but nope, he's got some pop.
7 home runs, 21 doubles for Ellsbury.
Off speed pitch, lined into right field. So Ellsbury with his 2nd hit of the afternoon as he starts the 9th inning.
Another multi-hit game for Ellsbury.
Pushes that 316 mark a little bit higher. Speed at first, but the Red Sox will not be thinking about a running game. Juan Rivera playing defensively down at first base behind the runner. Dustin Pedroia having another day. He's reached 3 times and had maybe the game's key swing, that 2-run home run right after the base hit by Ellsbury in the 5th inning. John Roush gets in front, 0-2. Pedroia has walked a pair of times.
Came into this game tied for 3rd in the American League in base on balls. So he will push that total up to 45.
Consider these numbers at the top of this batting order for the Red Sox as the curveball misses. Leadoff man Jacoby Ellsbury has an on-base percentage of .376. Same figure for Dustin Pedroia at .379, and for Adrian Gonzalez, the on-base is at .392. That's setting it up mighty well.
Yeah, and it's not just base on ball. I mean, they hit their way on too.
High chopper to short. Escobar on a 2nd hop will fire onto first base for the 1st out of the inning.
You know, all that means is a lot of RBI opportunities for Gonzalez and Euclid, Ortiz, some of those hitters in the middle of that lineup for the Boston Red Sox.
Well, you say it, and the guy who's taking the biggest advantage is Adrian Gonzalez, leading the major leagues in RBIs. Again, .376 and .379 for the top 2 guys in the order.
And they can both run.
Yep.
Between them, they have 37 stolen bases between Pedroia and Ellsbury.
Mike Cameron stands in. He's 0 for 1. Struck out looking in the 7th inning. Okay, so find a weakness for these Red Sox.
You know what? It's hard. You look inside the team and you say, well, maybe they don't have enough team speed. Well, that's no problem.
Got to find the seats.
Maybe they can't field it. They're second in the American League in fielding. John Lester's afternoon looks like it's done as Saltalamacchia, his catcher, and the rest of the team give him the high fives and the hugs. Looking to become the American League's first 9-game winner.
That to me looks like a team that feels they have a chance. And they should. For the moment, you would have to say they are the hottest, if not best, team in Major League Baseball. Change floats through.
You know, I haven't had a chance to watch the Philadelphia Phillies, and we get to see them in a couple of weeks right here at Rogers Center when they come to town as part of interleague play. But the Red Sox and Phillies might be the two best teams in baseball. I'm going to throw Texas in there also. I think they're pretty deep.
Another foul ball off the bat of Cameron. It stays at a ball and 2 strikes. Who has more pull on that team?
Between those two?
Yeah. They're both having fun, I know that. Ortiz finds that a silly question. Curveball popped back to the seats. Tabby, you just mentioned the Phillies, and we can look at the National League East. There's pretty good teams in that division.
Phillies got a lot of talent. They've had their injuries this year, some problems with their injuries, but when you can run out those 4 starters like the Phillies can run out, you've got a chance to win every single night. Their 5th starter isn't bad either.
Half swing does not go through.
And they've got a great player in Ryan Howard. Jimmy Rollins. Got some youth on that team. They play good defense. They have had 3 different closers this year because of injuries, but they still seem to get the job done.
When Chase Utley was at full strength, I love the offense of the Phillies. They've been tailing off in recent years. I think I like the Red Sox better presently. This pitch has popped up. Aaron Hill going out into right field. McCoy coming on. And now Mike McCoy takes charge as that right fielder and makes the play. 2 down for the Red Sox. Cleanup man Kevin Youkilis comes to the plate. You're right, with that starting rotation of the Phillies,
you don't need to score a lot.
Don't minimize the starting rotation for the Red Sox, but boy, that would be an intriguing series.
Well, we get to watch them at the end of this month. The Phillies come to Rogers Center as part of interleague.
There's a drive that's getting out quickly to left field. A 2-run bomb for Kevin Youkilis, his 3rd hit of the afternoon, and the Red Sox extend their lead to 14-1. Well, there's your first pitch fastball. Let's just go ahead and get ahead. And unfortunately, at times, major league hitters will just destroy that pitch.
You know what makes it so difficult to pitch to Youkilis? He's got a great eye, and he takes a lot of pitches. And early in the game, he'll take that first pitch right down the middle, pull you into just throwing one right there. Late in the game, you throw that first pitch fastball, and he turns on it. Got plenty of power to knock it out of the ballpark.
Home run number 9 for Kevin Youkilis. He's picked up 4 RBIs on the afternoon and now has 42. You get to a point in the dugout, do you think you guys are just showing off? Combined numbers in the series as the Red Sox are now pretty close to having that sweep locked up as they leave town.
35-6 outscored in 3 games. They set a season record for hits and runs in yesterday's game.
It's been Clay Buchholz, John Lackey, and now John Lester as the starting pitchers. What do you do as you have an off day tomorrow now, and the Blue Jays have to be humbled?
You know what you do?
As you finish up this series?
You just forget it. Nothing to do with baseball tomorrow on your off day. Get away from the ballpark, free up your mind, and then the slate is clean come Tuesday versus the Orioles.
Do you think that's spoken in the clubhouse, or just left where maybe John Farrell doesn't say a word going back in? Does he, I guess I'm asking, say to the team, wipe it clean, guys? We had a rough series. We got it handed to us. Let's come back and play baseball the way we know we can.
Wouldn't be a bad idea.
Fly ball to left. Tough play for Patterson, and he makes an outstanding running grab. And that'll do it as Ortiz flies out. 2 runs in the inning for the Red Sox on that 2-run dinger by Kevin Youkilis, his 9th on the year. To the bottom of the 9th inning we go as the Red Sox go to their bullpen. It has been all Boston. Sox have gotten great offense, but John Lester on the hill may be the man of the day. 8 great innings as you see the numbers.
Set the tone as he is in line for his 9th win. 8 innings. That's ties a season high. 4 innings, 8 strikeouts, just 1 walk. That came after he jumped ahead with 2 strikes just last inning. So Lester will turn it over to the bullpen. Michael Bowden will come out of the bullpen and finish this one off. Bowden was just recalled on Friday from AAA Pawtucket. This is his 3rd stint with the Red Sox. Called up and down a couple of other times last month in May. Former #1 pick. He's got a very good, strong, hard fastball.
Bowden is 24 years of age, makes his 3rd appearance now. He's worked just 3 innings, allowing 3 hits, and has not been touched with an earned run. Top of the order for the Jays, Yunel Escobar, as he takes a strike. Just 2 Toronto hits on the afternoon. Jose Bautista, 4th inning, 2-out solo home run, number 21 on the year. And then the 5th inning, Edwin Encarnacion with 1 out had a single. Lester walked 1, so 3 base runners for the Jays against John Lester. Bowden misses away on the 0-2.
Got that funky delivery, the way he holds the ball and really shows it to the hitter. Got a fastball, overhand curveball as a starter in the minor leagues.
Ball hit fairly well to right field, but Drew is there to make the play. And out number 1.
Well, you know, the thing that makes John Lester so tough is he's got so many different pitches. He can backdoor that cutter like he did to Aaron Sevilla, or inside to the right-handers. He can throw the fastball when you're looking for an off-speed pitch. He's got a changeup. And I thought today, Ash, that he had a really good curveball. And he showed it early in the game and early in the count.
Spotted that curveball on both sides of the plate. Yeah, it was a strong day for Lester. It's the only thing I would have loved somehow to be able to see as a strike finds the inside edge is how John Lester might have fared against the Red Sox bats.
You have to go to spring training. Check that out with some inter squad game or something.
Patterson gets jammed, grounds one to first. That's handled by Sutton. He'll pick up the out himself. And now 2 down here in the bottom of the 9th inning. Tomorrow again an off day. Back here tomorrow. Make that Tuesday night. 6:30 right here on the air. It's a 7:07 game time. The Blue Jays will hook it up 3 with the Baltimore Orioles before heading back out on the road. This is the Jose Bautista spot. Mike McCoy stands in his first plate appearance, and he takes a strike. Bautista went 1 for 3 on his day. Jose winds up hitting .338 at the end of play. We've talked about Adrian Gonzalez with the Red Sox. With his 2 for 4 afternoon, he's hitting .341. Fastball popped up, and this should do it. Down the right field side, Dustin Pedroia, who else? He takes charge and makes the catch. And a 1-2-3 9th inning turned in by Michael Bowden. The Blue Jays managed just 2 hits on this afternoon and see the Red Sox slug it all over the place. 14-1, the Red Sox win it and sweep the Blue Jays. The Sox now in first place in the tough East and winners of 9 straight.
Showing the Blue Jays just how good they are. And they're really rolling right now. They're getting the pitching, the defense, the hitting, the power. Terry Francona's team doing everything right now. Blue Jays just ran into a buzzsaw here in this series against the Red Sox.
We had a tough one for the Blue Jays, no doubt, and for their fans. As the Red Sox sweep it on through, we now go to Jays Connected with Jamie Campbell.